And welcome back. And I have Ashley here, and I'm just so incredibly honored and grateful to have witnessed Ashley's journey in the last, I would say, year. No, more than that, maybe year and a half.
Yeah.
Year and a half, because there was a little gap there. But Ashley, I feel like, is completely transformed, like still the same heart and soul, like good person, loving and caring towards others, but just so much clearing of all the crap. And you're just so powerful now. And it's so beautiful to watch. So tell us, wherever you want to start, then and now.
Yeah. So thank you. I for saying that and acknowledging those things about me because I feel the same way. And that I think initially, or it was my goal when I came to you was there's many things that I needed to deal with and work on. But like you said, like I'm still a loving, caring person, but I'm loving and caring to myself. And that to me is probably the biggest transformation of all because I have been through hell and back. And instead of being angry or questioning, or I just am taking everything that comes my way and just figuring it out and just making light, of so much where I would rather like I would stay in a mental state or I would just be angry, this like angry person. And I don't feel like that anymore. So a lot has changed, transformed. I feel like I'm a new, like Ashley 2.0, like a new redefined, true, authentic person to myself first and to everybody else. So
Absolutely, the new you. I'm so excited.
yes.
So let's hear. I think we should start with health. Is there another area you'd want to start with?
No, that's a good one. We should do that.
So, where were you then and now, and whatever you want to share with us?
Um, from level one in that, or
Yeah, like before the level one.
oh, the biggest thing at that point in time, I think, was getting sober and realizing that I had a problem and just staying clean and keeping on that path. The next thing was probably like anger. There was a lot of like different layers that were underneath me, situations with my sister, situations with my father, my relationship with Nick. There was just a lot. And then come to find out, like there was deeper things like rooted with my mother, and all of this stuff, just so much came to light. And in level one, I feel as though a lot of things with boundaries with my family, with, like I said, my father, my sister, my mom, my husband, a lot of that stuff was like fixed, you know. And then with level two, I was in the middle of chemo. So I'll bounce back a few months. After doing level one, a few months later, I had got diagnosed with stage 3C breast cancer. And it was the hardest diagnosis to swallow. And I feel as though if I didn't do level one and have so much, have gone through so many, phases and stages, like with my healing process, I probably wouldn't have handled my surgery, my diagnosis, my treatment, you know, the way that I don't want to say like the way that I should have. I just feel like I took it, and just received the information so much better and with that in turn, helped me really just go through the whole healing process and, just taking that like one day at a time. So that was done through level 2. And then level 3, I feel like just kind of capped just every other part, of me that I wanted to fulfill, whether it was feng shui or my finances a little bit or sticking to a schedule, just kind of all like the basic normal things, because I had gone through a lot of change, I feel as though, in level 1 and 2, and then 3 just kind of was like the cherry on top. So health wise, mentally, I feel like, right, we can say that's like part of, yeah, like mental health. That's been transformational because, again, I wouldn't have handled the news that I had. I wouldn't have pushed through. I went into complete like survival fight mode, and at the same time was so positive about so much of it. And Sloan had contacted me after I did my radiation, and they asked if I could be on their social media page for young women with breast cancer as like a positive person going through it. And I was honored that they asked me and chose me out of, thousands and thousands of women that they can pick. It really solidified to me in my mind, like how much growth I have made mentally. Obviously the health was like totally getting sober, and then just going through my whole chemo treatment in level 2 and allowing my body to feel the emotions and the side effects from chemo, and just taking it, I think, like gracefully.
Absolutely. And would you like to read the thing that we discussed? You don't have to.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this letter I had written on March 3rd, 2022. So that was 3 months into my chemo. I had 4 ACT treatments and then 4 Taxol treatments. So I had 8 chemo rounds in total. And this actually, so it's March 3rd, my birthday was the 10th, Valentine's Day. This was like 3 weeks prior to me being hospitalized when I was neutropenic. I had COVID. I had a blood transfusion. I was in the hospital for 5 days. It was very taxing physically and mentally. And getting through it. It's probably where I think some of like the PTSD sits in a little bit, with your getting that diagnosis and then really like sitting there and being like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? So there was a lot of anger towards my cancer. So I started off the letter saying, Dear Cancer, what the fuck? Why? Why me? Why now? Just why? Stage 3 invasive ductal carcinoma, clear mammo 5 months before. How? I read an email that came through while I was at the dentist. I'll just open it up when I get home, I said in my mind. Patient portal, your biopsy, your results are ready from your biopsy. Diagnosis, IDC cancer, treatment, surgical, oncological. My whole life flashed before me, and in a split second, I found it through a fucking email. How? Why? This can't be me. This can't be real. They must have screwed up my results with another person. After countless calls to the doctor's office, 4 hours later, my doctor called to confirm my worst fear. It was cancer. I ran outside, fell to my knees, and prayed. What was this? My destiny? Is this how I am going to die? What will happen to my 4 babies? Sophia, my sister-in-law, will take them if something ever if something ever happens to me. I black out for 6 weeks, tests, blood work, biopsies, tons of imaging, PET scans, and surgery. How could you do this to us? How could you just get into my body and fuck everything up? I hate you, Cancer. I really fucking hate you. Surgery, bilateral mastectomy, November 23rd. It was a success, and we finally evicted your ass. And now your time is up, and now you die and not me. Plan of attack, surgery, 8 rounds of chemo, radiation, eventually exchange surgery. You stole a year and a half of my life, and it's not, you stole a year and a half of my life, and it's not even over. You gave me surgery, chemo, soon radiation, nausea, fatigue, diarrhea, depression, lots of meds, bad thoughts, fear like I've never known. My life is completely consumed with you. Schedules, routines, depending on others, doctor's appointments. I have scars in my body that I will hate because of you emotionally and mentally. Those scars will take time to heal. You make it hard to look at my body, have sex with my husband, have my daughters land my chest. It makes me feel like I'm not a woman. My femininity has changed, and not really being able to really feel like I'm a whole person. Was my soul's purpose supposed to go through this in order for me to be the best me? I wonder and think that too often. Just as much as I'm angry for you, just uprooting our lives in a fucking second, I find myself also grateful for you. In a weird way, let's be clear. I'm not grateful for you, but I am for finding you early enough to get my treatment and stop you from killing me. Because of you, I found strength that I've never knew I had. I'm grateful for the strangers dropping off food, the medical team I'm surrounded by, the texts, the phone calls from all over the world, the prayers from all over the country. I've learned a lot from you, and I know I will be able to help others heal like me and make a huge impact on people and an early detection advocate. But for now, Cancer, you must leave my body. You no longer serve me, and I no longer need to be angry. Love, Ashley.
Wow. And what happened recently, that surprise you told me about? The surprise that just happened to you.
Oh, I was thrown a survivor party from my mom and my mother-in-law and mostly my good friends. My brothers flew in and drove up from other states. My best friend came from Florida, and Nick spoke and my mom spoke, and just thanking everybody. And he's he said to everybody, I know many of you were not living with us or, in our home often during this process, but if you saw Ashley and her attitude and how positive she was and just like a force of light, and like, he's like, that's what got me through, and that's what got our kids through, and I'm emotional because I never thought of it like that. I never thought that they would be healing and getting through because of my I guess positivity and emotions and like my mental strength that I had. Yes, you go through, these ups and these downs and these highs and lows, but for the most part, I took it with stride and just pushed forward and proved to myself like how badass of a bitch I can be, and nothing could tear me down or take me away from my family. So having that party this past weekend was like just a testament to myself that what I went through should be acknowledged and should be celebrated. And I just feel just so grateful and want to help others now with this process. just another part of like my healing, helping heal people, you know, is like going through my journey, my healing journey, and I still am. I will be having my exchange surgery. Okay, you have to go in the other room. You have to go in the other room. Can you tell Daddy, please? Go get your blanket. I'm gonna be right out, okay? Have to cut that part out. Um, just being recognized for everything that I just went through. Um, and at the same time, just like saying to all of my friends and, you know, my family, like, I'm the baby of all of my cousins, and I'm the one that had cancer. And I just looked at all of them and I just said, I would rather it be me than you know, and it's taught me so many lessons, so many amazing lessons, so much more to be grateful for, to be present for, to appreciate, to not take for granted, to really just appreciate my body and my life. And yeah, it's just been like such a crazy, crazy, amazing road.
Yes, and now give us the results.
So as of September 27th, I was cleared through a PET scan that I no longer have any cancer in my body. I'm cancer free.
Woo!
And my blood work every month has been great, you know, and one of the things that goes through my mind often was when I found my team of surgeons and oncologists and plastic surgeons and my whole like medical family, they had said to me, like, you're young, you need to be here for your children, and you need to set an example for the many women after you who are going to go through this, that we're going to hit you and we're going to hit you really hard, but we're going to hit you so that you never have to come back here ever again or deal with this ever again in your life. And I truly feel the strength of my medical team behind me, like, you know, giving me 8 rounds of chemo versus 6 rounds of chemo, you know, giving me 25 rounds of radiation versus, you know, 15. I feel that at the end of the day that they had me in the back of their minds, you know, knowing that I'm young and I'm a mom and I just have so much to live for. So I'm just so grateful for them really kind of bringing me to death, to, you know, totally flipping the script and being cancer free and just loving and appreciating every day that I'm given.
Wow. No, you're so inspirational. And let's talk about what you wrote. And we just looked back in your journal together for, you know, the last year and a half. Let's look back at, I think it was week 3, level 1. And that was even before your diagnosis. And do you want to share how you were feeling then compared to now?
Yes, so I'm trying to find it. But I had said something along the lines of what is, I think it was what is my purpose in life? And at that time, I had wrote surviving, and how crazy that was to not even know, you know, I had cancer in my body at that time or what I was about to go through, just coming like full circle, you know, because I really do feel like a survivor. And if I can look back on that now, I think through a meditation that we did, I came to the realization that probably since age 10, I was always in like survival mode. So maybe that was there, for other reasons too. But now looking back on it with the cancer diagnosis, I mean, like talk about the fucking universe. It's just crazy, crazy.
Absolutely. And when you first read it, because to me, you're like, this is how I felt then, and I don't feel it like that at all now, right? And I was like, wow, that's even before your diagnosis. So how do you feel now?
Um, I feel I feel probably the most like truest and authentic self that, the life that I was given and dealing with so many layers of trauma and, being so hard on myself. Um, I really just feel like the mother that I was always supposed to be, the wife I was supposed to always be, without all of the baggage. So I see myself as a survivor, but so much more, you know. I mean, I've come so far and conquered so much and dealt with so much that I know that was just like a piece, to like the whole big picture, the whole puzzle. And it all is just finally fitting together. And it's just like a beautiful picture.
Absolutely. And tell us how you're being a better mother, a better wife, a better all of it, right? You said how you were meant to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time I would always play the victim, not realizing that all the control and power was within myself this whole time when I was outsourcing with drugs, when I was outsourcing with other people constantly helping me, realizing now that I can do it by myself and I don't need the extra help, sort of speak, I don't need that, um, I guess like commentary or like the comments like from other people being like, wow, Ash, doing a really good job, like you're a great mom. Like I know I'm a good mom. I know I'm a good wife. I think also a part of that too has come from, sticking with a schedule and having a calendar every day that I go off of, because I put the time in for me. I put the time in to make dinner for my family. I put the time in for my kids. Um, I think one of the things I dealt with or felt like that I was always feeling like I was spread too thin and not giving my daughters like the quality time with each of them. So with you helping me, set a timer for 10 minutes and do 10 minutes with Demi, 10 minutes with Sophia and Gabby and Mila, it's just their understanding and realize like the importance that they are to me without me freaking out or losing my mind or losing my patience. I'm much more like a calmer person. And again, like just appreciating every little moment. So when I do get those 10 minutes, or even with Nick, with, making time for us and having like a date night or whatever, just realizing, I guess, how life can be so unpredictable. And a lot of things are out of your control with the way that you were raised or what has been thrown at you. But ultimately, at the end, the way that you respond to all those things and make change, that's all within yourself. So that's been like a big wake up call for me, just realizing like, wow, like I have the power and control to to change the way I respond or react, do, don't, and a lot too, I think just with like giving myself grace and not being so hard on myself. So yeah, those are just like a few little things.
It's incredible. So amazing. And so you touched on so many things. Anything else that you want to talk about as far as, we have other areas of your life like mindset, your emotions. I know you mentioned the anger right now. I know you're not really feeling that way anymore. And the contrast, because you said, oh, I don't even feel like I need to survive. So what does that feel like? Maybe it's the appreciation, right? So we also touch on like home and organization and any other areas that you want to give us some feedback on.
Um, Probably boundaries, I think, has been huge. I guess with like a lot of the meditations and the books that I have read, or I know that those things specifically have opened my eyes up, almost like my trauma goggles are being taken off, um, to understand like, no, you're the fucked up one, and not so much like what I did or like how I contributed to this a situation or experience that I had gone through with setting those boundaries, especially with my own mom, who's somebody that I have relied on for so long and have been so awakened by her behavior and her actions and her victimizing, and probably the fact that she's what is
Did we say borderline?
yes, borderline, yes. And learning about that type of person and that personality and realizing how you have to handle and control things and what you say and how you do, to be able to have a healthy relationship with that person, but, you know, at arm's length. And that goes with being said, I think anything forthcoming with, my intentions or my um, trusting my gut, my intuition. If I'm in a situation where I'm not comfortable, or maybe normally I would just be like, oh, deal with it. I'm much more an advocate now for myself about what I want and what I don't want, and putting those healthy boundaries in place for me to have a better, you know, life and relationship with so many people that I'm close with.
Absolutely. And I'm just so proud of you for that because we always like idealize our parents growing up or one of our parents if the other one is more obviously messed up.
Hmm.
And it's hard sometimes to be like, wow, it's the other one, that also, right? Things aren't perfect. Like everyone's messed up, everyone's wounded, we're human, but when we can start to identify those patterns and how they make us feel, and how they show up then in other areas of our life, it's life changing. So
Yeah, and I also think it's like validation that like you're you're not as fucked up as like you think you are, just thinking like, holy shit, like my mom never dealt with shit from when she was a child and how that transpired to her parenting me, and then realizing the type of personality she has and then learning about that personality and identifying it. I'm much more in tuned to other people's behavior and trusting my gut and my intuition, and I think it's just because I've done so much work in that area that I never really had boundaries, let alone healthy ones. So yeah, it's been like life changing.
it's huge. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Me too.
And let's talk about your career. So if we think about a year and a half ago, um, and just so everybody knows, now the program's 6 months. It used to be 9 months. Now you get everything together in 6 months. And then if you want to do the teacher training, but Ashley took a gap. So that's why when some people hear a year and a half, they're like, what the hell? But
Hmm.
if we think about a year and a half ago where you were at, like thoughts about career, right? Maybe you didn't even have any thoughts about career. What are you excited about now? What are you creating now? What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to coaching for the new youth school. Um, yeah, I mean, a year and a half ago, no, there wasn't even a thought in my mind about like doing something for a career. Always knowing in the back of my mind that I always wanted to help others, and I didn't really or couldn't really identify like how to do that. And now that I've done the program and it's helped me transform in so many areas of my life, and now knowing, kind of my targeted audience for young mothers with addiction, cancer survivors, breast cancer survivors, and trying to help other women in those types of areas in their life. I really just feel like that gearing towards those will really just kind of open up my, window of helping people in other areas of their lives. So yeah, really just coaching, helping people, maybe possibly working with Nick soon, with him being a contractor and me loving interior design, somehow, putting a little something together where the two of us can work as a team and really, you know, um, just kind of do something that we both love and like our passion and just like making beautiful changes for other people.
Absolutely. You'll help them with the inside of the house and the inside of their minds. And then
Exactly.
Nick can help with the outside. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And let's speaking of outside and Nick, let's touch on his change if you want to share about that. It's been amazing.
Yeah, so Nick, even my sister-in-law, I can't even, every time I see her, I'm like, so she's down like 22 or something pounds. I mean, I don't even like recognize her. Like she just looks and oozes just this like glow and lightness about her. And same thing with Nick. Through the nutrition program, they have dropped. Nick already came down to his goal weight, and I think and lost some more, and now is going to start like trying to gain weight with working out, in the future, gaining muscle and stuff like that. I mean, his transformation has just put so much inspiration to me, that you don't have to just settle with what you have, and you can really make those huge lifestyle changes for your health. And just seeing his progress and his dedication and his, excitement about him, himself, that to me is just beautiful to watch, like watch that whole thing unfold, and still unfolding, and he gets on the scale in the morning, and he just has that little celebration, looking in the mirror, getting dressed this weekend for my party, it's just like watching his confidence just change like that. It's just been so, so inspiring.
Amazing. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're going to be such a good coach and you're going to help so many women. So I'm so happy and I'm so honored to have you in part of the
Thank
school.
you. Thank you so much, Ellen. I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for you.
My pleasure. Really, my pleasure. It's like been such an honor because you're like the ideal person to help people because you've been through it and you're so brave and so honest and so hardworking and so open and so loving and all of it. So
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. But it's true a testament to you and being that vulnerable in those moments in my life when I thought my world was falling apart, or just the sobriety, or the patience with my own children. Like so much has shifted and changed, and the energy is just like eluding the whole vibe in the house, in every aspect. So I think that's probably too, is like people don't realize like how much you really help people in so many other areas, you know, that they thought maybe they had it figured out or whatever, you know, it's such an amazing program just because it encapsulates every aspect of your life when, like I said, sometimes you just don't even know. And to fix those little and tweak those little things, you know, it just adds so much more like pleasure to your own life. So thank you.
Oh my God, I couldn't have said it any better. Literally.
Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. So, anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
No, I just am excited to coach. Excited to help people. I'm excited to push myself again in another area of my life that either I was content with or didn't think I was worth. Knowing now like how valuable I am to myself, I have so much more to offer to others that I'm not going anywhere, and you're all going to be seeing me and transform in a whole nother way again. So, yeah, I'm just excited to, you know, be here and push myself and, you know, help heal people on their own journey. So I'm not going anywhere.
So excited. And what type of person would you recommend the new U School to?
Honestly, anybody. I don't think for one second that if you do think you have your shit together in one way, that like you can't help it 10 times more, you know, in another way. Whether it's like body image problems, weight gain, you know, sobriety, finances, uh, boundaries, feng shui, you know, there's just, I think there is no perfect, everybody could use this program. It's not just for one type of person for one specific thing. It's so broad and just into who its audience is, because like I said, I feel like if you think for some way that you can't do something and then you tweak it and make it like that much more better, you're getting so much, you know, out of it. And again, I think too, like for me, you know, I was going into it for A, B, C, and D and came out with, you know, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, you know, so it's like there's just so much to get out of it and gain when you really do the work, you know, and the homework and the meditations and the self work and the books too. I mean, one of the things that just want to say quickly is just like this, my sleeping. My sleeping habits were so bad. I wasn't sleeping. I had like bad insomnia. And that also is a side effect to one of the medications that I do take for, you know, keeping my estrogen down, but learning how to cope and deal with that in like the healthiest way possible. That again has just been life changing because you don't realize or value your sleep, you know, as much as you do when you're an adult or, you know, a mother too, because you know, if I don't get a certain amount or if I don't follow my, you know, nighttime ritual, my morning ritual, then it like can throw your whole day off.
So, how has your sleep improved now?
Tremendously, you know, little things like from wearing blue blockers to putting my phone away hours before to not getting um, my nervous system activated in any sense, having like doing a face wash routine, having a cup of tea, doing a little meditation or a little bit of reading, nothing that's like going to trigger me. Um, it's like night and day, you know. And again, I also feel like even if I do get those 6 hours, ideally I would love 8. I still feel good and energized because I've put in the work to make those habits really um, valuable for my health and my life.
Absolutely, because 6 hours of high quality sleep is better than 10 hours of shit sleep. So,
Yeah.
Well, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see how great of a coach you're going to be because I know you're going to be amazing. So, everyone, follow Ashley and sign
Hold on
up.
1 second. 4 seconds, okay? Yep. No, like this. Okay. I love you. I'm almost done. Okay. I gotta go down. Watch out, please. So, almost done, Mama. I'll be right there.
And I'm so proud of you because you're going to be such a good coach. It's not even a question. So, for those of you watching, please, any of those things, if you're a mom struggling with addiction, if you're a young mom, if you're a cancer survivor, if you breast cancer, any of those things,
Sophia, stop. Go in the bed and I'm gonna be right there. I'm coming. You have to get away from the door.
sign up for Ashley teaching the New You School. Go to thenewyouschool.com or fallonfitzpatrick.com and click the New You program and sign up with Ashley.
Yes.
Love you, Ashley.
Thank you. I love you too. And I'm gonna be there for anybody that needs my help. And I can't wait to start this whole new journey.
Me too. We'll talk to you soon. We'll check in with you during
Okay.
your training.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Is that good? All
Yeah.
right, perfect. It was so good. I love you so much. Big hug. I know she needs you, so I don't want to keep you.
I know it's late, right? Yeah. What is it? 9:30? Okay.
Yeah. So I'll see you for your teacher training.
Mhm. Do we have? No, we don't have a check-in, right?
No, yeah.
We're good. Okay. Oh my God.
So your teacher training is, let me see. Whoop, November 30th.
Okay, cool.
And we're having an event the 28th and 29th if you're around, if you want to pop in. It's on astrology. It's really cool.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, definitely. I will definitely be there for that.
All right. Love you.
Thank you. I love you too. Good night.
Bye, good night.